Okay, this is a quick review of the Pass and Seymour dual nightlight outlet. This is my second one that I have. I've already installed the first one, and so I'm doing a quick review on the issues and the quality of this device. Well, let's just start off. We'll just do a quick thing and say it's not real great. Now you can either stop watching or continue with the rest of the video. Okay, so this is what you get in the box. Instructions, the outlet, and a little louver that can be swapped out there to kind of reduce the amount of light that's coming out of it in case it was too bright for you or in your line of sight sitting somewhere or standing somewhere. All you have to do to install the louver is just slide that part out, take this out, slide this one in. You can put it either direction, whichever works for you. If you're in one of those crazy places where they installed outlets like this, I never understood that, but you know, whatever works for you. We'll just leave this out for now. Put that aside. Okay, now this appears just to be a light, but it's not. It's also a switch. And you click and hold on it to do various functions with it, which I'll demonstrate here in a little bit on the one I already have installed. First, I'll show you kind of one of the first things you're probably going to notice when you try and install it. It is considerably deeper than your average outlet. As you can see here, this is the outlet that I replaced with the first one I did. This made it extremely difficult to get into my older 1960s house electrical box because of the depth. You know, I had wires coming in from other places and then continuing out of that box. With that, it was too deep to fit in the wall outlet or a wall box. So what I actually had to do is take the wires that kind of junctioned in the box and attach them to the terminals on the outlet instead. So what I did is took the wires, unwound them, unwrapped them in the back of the box, and made all the leads come into the outlet instead here, and then go on to the rest of the house. And I had to cut the wires, of course, shorter to do that. So that then freed up enough space in the box to get this outlet in there. Average homeowner may not be able to do that. I'm not an electrician by any means, but it wasn't too hard, but it took a lot of time. That old wiring was pretty wrapped up tight and was actually soldered together. Okay, here she is all installed. This is my other outlet that I purchased, installed in the wall. If you look down below, here's the mess created by the first problem with this device, and the fact that it's too deep compared to a lot of other outlets. So all this stuff was used as part of the junction in the box of all the wires coming in from other places and meeting in this box. So instead of them joining in the back of the box and then a wire coming out to the outlet, I've taken that apart and all the leads come into this outlet together in different spots on it, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it created a lot of extra work for me to have to do, because if I left those connections in there the way they were, I could not fit that outlet in the box. It would not fit in there. There was just too much stuff in the box. So that's the first strike against it. Not a huge deal breaker, but for your average person to try and install it, it's going to be impossible for them. So that's a big, you know, design flaw. And the fact that it needs that much space to just put that circuitry in there is kind of a bad thing. Then, the other problem is, as you can see, the light's on. Why is the light on? That's a very good question. There's plenty of light in this room right now. There's no need for this nightlight to be on. But their sensors stuff in this is terrible. If I open the shades, which are not open right now, the light will shut off. But with just the overhead light in this room, the light will not shut off. It needs a little bit more light. Now, on the opposite side of things, if I were to shut off the light and open up all the shades, which provides maybe almost about the same amount of light, you would think, the night light shuts off. So my theory is it's how the light kind of gets to the sensor, kind of affects how and when it shuts off. I think because this light is so much overhead above the outlet, the sensor doesn't pick up as much of the light and so stays on. If you shine a light directly perpendicular at this thing, it seems like it will shut off pretty easy. But overall, it's a terrible design. It's absolutely terrible. There's no reason for this light to be on. This was a terrible design, and testing was done on this. They should have caught this way before this ever entered production, or at least at the minimum, after it was produced, quality control, they should have done some testing and to see what, what kicked it off or kicked off the light, on or off the light. There are some kind of handy features for this night light. First of all, that center part acts as a button, so you can go through the settings. First one is the brightness settings. Right now, I have manually shut off the light by pushing in the button. We'll hit it one time, turns it on. Hit it again, get a little bit brighter, hit it again, brighter still, and then finally there's the highest brightness setting on it, which at night is pretty darn bright. And then we hit it one more time and it shuts off. So we'll go back to that first setting there, maybe, there we go. And there's also settings to compensate for the little louver piece being installed in there, because if you think about it, with the louver installed, less light is going to get to that sensor, so that thing is going to, in theory, turn on the light a lot sooner because it thinks it's darker out. So they made a setting to compensate for that. What you have to do is hold in the buttons on it. Now, depending on how many times the light blinks after you hold in for 5 seconds, tells you the settings. 3 blinks means it's set up for the clear lens. 2 blinks means it's set up for the louver. So we'll hold it in for 5 seconds. So you can see there was 3 blinks. It's now set up for the clear lens. So that means I had it set up for the louvers. And the light still wasn't shutting off. So the louver setting does absolutely no good for the problem or situation that I'm having where the night light never shuts off. So we'll hold it in again. 1, 2, blinks. So now it's set up for the louver setting. So you'd think it would shut off because I don't even have the louvers installed. But nope, doesn't help any. Wah, wah. So, big thumbs down on the outlet. I give it a 2 out of 5 star rating. Not real easy to install, and it doesn't really work the way you want it to.